Welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus check update, daily news, what's going on in the United States, Washington, D.C., money, investing, and the next stimulus package, which has been announced at $3.5 trillion. Although Democrats like Senator Joe Manchin are threatening to potentially cut the package in half or even more than half, all the way down to $1.5 trillion. I'll be giving you the latest details on that in this video, as well as what is going on in our country, as today is the 20th anniversary of 9/11. Yeah, it's been 20 years since then. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below. If you find these videos helpful, don't forget to hit the like button for us down below. Current President Joe Biden and former President Barack Obama pay tribute at Ground Zero here today on the 20th anniversary of 9/11. Former President George Bush urges Americans as he pays tribute at the 9/11 Memorial in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. Listen to this. Former President George Bush Jr. calling for unity in America. It's sad that it takes a tragedy like 9/11 to bring the country together. It seems like we're more divided than ever at this point. Yeah, you can let me know your thoughts in the comments. But today we honor the lives of the almost 3,000 Americans that lost their lives in 9/11 and the thousands of Americans that were there to help during the tragedy and the rebuilding of 9/11. It is something that America will never forget, along with Pearl Harbor and all the other tragedies that we've lived through. It's a day we will never forget, for sure. Okay, House Democrats propose renewing President Biden's $300 monthly checks to families until 2025 in the social spending package, the next stimulus package. House Democrats are pressing to renew the revamped child tax credits, those monthly payments of $250 to $300 per month, through 2025, potentially setting up a clash with their Senate counterparts who are eyeing a shorter extension in the $3.5 trillion social spending plan. The Democratic plan from the House Ways and Means Committee, released on Friday night, aligns with the proposal that President Joe Biden unveiled in the spring. It would maintain the bulked up benefit for another 4 years and lock in the credit's ability to be issued as monthly payments to the vast majority of American families, about 65 million. It would also allow low-income families who don't earn enough to owe taxes to tap into the entire benefit permanently, known as full refundability. Other parts of the bill include low-income housing tax credits and an expansion of Medicare coverage, and prescription drug reforms authorizing the federal government to negotiate lower prices for seniors. Quote, taken together, these proposals expand opportunity for the American people and support our efforts to build a healthier, more prosperous future for the country. Representative Richard Neal of Massachusetts, chair of the House Ways and Means panel, said in a statement. The child tax credit currently provides up to $300 a month per child ages 5 and under, or $3,600 annually. For children between ages 6 and 17, families can receive $200 each month, or $3,000 a year. Remember that if they don't pass this or put this in the bill, if the bill doesn't pass, these checks go away. These are only passed for just this year, 2021. So this is for 65 million families. So if they don't pass this next package, if Senator Joe Manchin declines to vote yes, these monthly checks will go away. Yeah. In March, the Democratic stimulus law turned the credit into a 1-year monthly cash benefit, boosting its amounts from $2,000. Individuals earning $75,000 and below are eligible for full payments, along with couples making $150,000 and under. But the Senate Democrats are considering an extension until 2024, a presidential year, and they haven't decided if they will make it fully refundable beyond that. They're seeking to avoid crowding out other top priority in the legislation, like a Medicare benefit expansion, medical and paid leave, and a tuition-free community college. House and Senate Democrats could wrangle over the provision and the limited pot of money available to fund it, similar to another fight underway on either expanding Medicare benefits or making federal subsidies for Affordable Care Act coverage permanent. The House Democratic timeline would allow the benefits to expire along a slate of tax cuts from the 2017 Republican tax law, and Congress would have to address them at the same time. That could pressure Republican lawmakers to support renewing the child allowance in exchange for Democrats extending components of the Republican tax law. Democrats are poised to muscle through the anti-poverty bill through reconciliation, which requires only a simple majority and sets up a path to circumvent unanimous Republican opposition, meaning not a single Republican is going to vote for it. But Democrats can only afford 3 defections, 3 Democrats in the House, and none in the Senate for the bill to pass. House committees are assembling their parts of the bill right now, so the child tax credit renewal is still subject to change as Democrats haggle over the size and the scope of the plan. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says the Senate is moving full speed ahead on the reconciliation bill, despite Senator Joe Manchin's call for a strategic pause. So at this point, everybody is basically ignoring Joe Manchin's call for a pause and his call to make the bill half the size. And they're going to either deal with him later or negotiate with him later. Senator Joe Manchin's approval rating has dropped significantly as a senator rebuffs the infrastructure bill. Senator Joe Manchin now has only a 42% approval rating in West Virginia, compared with 37% of respondents who disapprove. Yeah, this is notable change compared to with the results in the same poll in October 2020. This poll comes as Democrats in the House and Senate are pushing ahead with Joe Biden's $3.5 trillion infrastructure package, though Joe Manchin has indicated he will not support that amount of spending. The last West Virginia poll in October showed him with a 44% approval rating, which has now dropped. Joe Manchin has seen a relatively steady decline in his approval rating since 2019, when he had a 49% approval rating. Yeah, so apparently citizens of West Virginia, Joe Manchin's own voters, do not think he's doing a very good job. You can let me know down below in the comments if you think Joe Manchin is doing a good job. Meanwhile, there's lots of stimulus checks and stimulus proposals that have been announced here within the last 24 to 48 hours. Some people will be getting an extra $600 stimulus checks from the federal government. Yeah, these are actual stimulus checks that have been announced. Farm workers and meat packers will be receiving, at least some of them, will be receiving $600 stimulus checks. This is has just been announced here within the last 48 hours or so. Agriculture Secretary Tom Vilsack announced yesterday, this is now 2 days ago, a new plan to distribute one-time $600 relief payments, aka stimulus checks, to U.S. meat packers and farm workers. The aid comes as part of a new $700 million aid program from the U.S. Department of Agriculture. There is also a $20 million fund for grocery store workers, although they have said that the grocery store fund for grocery store workers is much smaller than it needs to be, and it could be increased in the future. If you are a farm worker or meat packer or a grocery store worker, go to Google and Google USDA fund and try to apply. These funds are first come, first serve, from what I understand. There might be more types of these stimulus checks for different groups of people coming out in the near future as they get announced. Of course, I will keep you up to date, as well as different states, cities, and counties that announce these as well. I will keep you up to date as well, as there are multiple different states, cities, and counties announcing these. If you've been watching my channel, you know that I keep you up to date with all these different types of programs. California is sending out stimulus checks to over 25 million people, $600 stimulus checks to people making up to $75,000, and an additional $500 for children, so a total of $1,100. In fact, I have seen comments from people that said if you got the first round of your California state stimulus check, they actually will or can send you out a $500 stimulus check later. I've seen some comments from people that said they got their $500 check later on. If you got the first round for $600, later on they actually sent you the $500 check for children. So California says that they're issuing another $2 million state stimulus checks for this week. So they're going out in batches, similar to how the IRS sends out the federal stimulus checks. So hopefully more states will be doing this as well. There are several different states sending out stimulus checks for teachers and first responders and multiple different things like that. The Senate Democrats are considering sending seniors a $600 to $1,000 cash voucher to buy expanded Medicare benefits next year. And apparently they're negotiating this right now for the next stimulus package. This is just one of the multiple different stimulus items that could be included in this next stimulus package, the $3.5 trillion stimulus package. This story was just broke within the last 48 hours as a last minute item. So again, this is just one of the stimulus items being negotiated into this package. So this is a potential $600 to $1,000 stimulus cash voucher for Medicare benefits that could be included in this package. So yeah, things are really heating up here. There's a lot of different stimulus type items that are being negotiated into this package. The Senior Citizens League is actually has created a huge news story. They are petitioning for a $1,400 stimulus check as well. So there's a lot of different things going on right now as they're trying to wrap up this $3.5 trillion stimulus package. And there's going to be a flurry of people vying for stimulus checks, stimulus items, child tax credits, adult tax credits, all sorts of everybody fighting at the last moment to get money included into this stimulus package at the last moment. So it's going to get very exciting and very interesting here at the very last moment as they kind of vie to everybody to get money added into the package. So yeah, remember that the second stimulus check package, even after they wrote the bill, the stimulus check wasn't added in there. They wrote the bill, and then there was like outcry saying, how can you not include a stimulus check in there? So after they wrote the bill, there was so much pushback that they forced them to change it and add a stimulus check in there even after they wrote the bill. So they didn't change the size of the bill. If you remember back then, it was former President Donald Trump. This was only back to December. This was after actually, so the was already over, and this was former President Donald Trump's last full month in office, and Mitch McConnell was still the leader of the Senate, and they wanted the package to be less than $1 trillion, but the outcry and the demand was, you got to put a stimulus check in there. This is for the second stimulus check even. And they basically said, okay, we'll put a stimulus check in there. Like, what were they thinking, right? And they just took the money away from states and cities and just shifted it over to a stimulus check. And they can easily do that with multiple different stimulus items for this next package. So it'll be interesting to see at the last minute when the demands come in and people are like, what are you doing? You know, because honestly, we're already starting to see that happen with all these different stimulus items and demands coming. And honestly, once the bill comes out, I'm sure there'll be a lot of people saying, what are you doing? You know, so we'll see here. So once the bill comes out, there might be a lot of people saying, what are you doing? You know, and especially if we don't include a big fat stimulus check in there, there might be a lot of pushback, and a lot of people might be saying, "What are you doing?" So don't be surprised if they don't change it after the bill is written. So a lot of people, when honestly, the second stimulus check package bill and the third stimulus check bill were significantly changed after they wrote the bill. The third stimulus check package bill, it's starting to become a mouthful. The House passed it, and then it went to the Senate, and the Senate changed it significantly even after the House passed the bill. Yeah. So even after the bill comes out here, which could be as early as this week coming up, yeah, I mean, they're really getting down to the wire here. It couldn't change significantly, and they can add in a lot of items at the last minute. The second stimulus check was added in 6 days before they passed it. The third stimulus check package was added. They added in a $10,200 unemployment provision after the House passed it, and for a lot of you guys, that meant thousands of dollars for anybody, for some people that had unemployment benefits. So there's really a lot of different changes that can happen at the very last minute, and apparently they're already negotiating some of these things, like potential $1,000 cash vouchers for people, for seniors that are on Medicare. And again, hey, an extra $1,000 if you're on Medicare and you're 60 years or older and you're on Medicare. I mean, that's just one of the potential stimulus items in there. So that's not necessarily in place of anything else. Because again, I think there's going to be multiple different stimulus items in here. Child tax credits, adult tax credits, this potential $1,000 Medicare voucher. And again, the more things, the better, right? The more things, the better. It's not like that's going to be the only one item in there. It's not like they're going to get rid of the other things in there. So the more things, the better, right? Let's just have them keep adding in there. Let's have utility assistance in there, rent assistance, internet assistance, hopefully a big fat fourth stimulus check, maybe monthly checks. The monthly checks called the child tax credits. The more the merrier, right? The more help, the merrier. There's probably going to be several different things in there that we might have to apply for, like that internet assistance that you can get from getbroadband.org. No, wait, it's getemergencybroadband.org. Getemergencybroadband.org. This is where you can get $50 off your internet service per month. This is from the third stimulus check package. Yeah, it's an internet discount from the third stimulus check package. You can get $50 off your internet bill, and you literally apply right here on the website. And we've had people on this, our viewers here have already gotten like 4 or 5 months of it, and it's an actual stimulus provision. Yeah, it's a utility assistance provision. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So hopefully there's going to be lots of different things like that. Also, I want to say I will have a new Julian's Adventure for you guys, ready for you guys by the next episode. You can click this top video here to watch my newest stimulus check video next. And this video is about President Biden in support of new Social Security raises. So click on one of these videos next if you haven't seen them. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.